I tried to help someone who parked illegally. He yells at me. Pettiness ensues. So I'm at this Canada Day celebration with my 7-year-old son Jake in this tiny cottage town by the lake. The whole place is basically 3 streets and a general store, but they go all out for Canada Day. Face painting, bouncy castles, the works. The parking situation was absolutely insane. Like, people were parking on grass, in front of fire hydrants, basically anywhere they could squeeze their car. We got there early around 10 a.m. and managed to snag this perfect diagonal parking spot right on Main Street. While I'm helping Jake out of the truck, I noticed this spot 2 cars down that looks huge, like way bigger than a normal space. For a second, I'm thinking, man, I should have parked there instead. But then I look closer and realize there's no curb. It's actually someone's driveway. Plus, there's this faded no parking sign on the building about 20 feet away that you'd totally miss if you weren't looking for it. We spend the whole day doing kid stuff. Jake gets his face painted like a maple leaf. We watch this terrible magic show, eat way too much funnel cake. By 3 p.m., the little kid activities are winding down and all the adults are starting to show up for the beer tent and live music. We're walking back to the truck when I see this guy in a black pickup pulling right into that fake parking spot I noticed earlier. He hops out, doesn't even look around, and starts walking toward the festival. Now here's the thing. I'm not usually the guy who gets involved in other people's business, but this dude's about to get a $150 ticket, or worse, get towed. And towing in a town like this probably costs like $300 because they have to drive 45 minutes to get there. So I call out to him, hey, just so you know, that's not actually a parking spot. It's a driveway, and there's a no parking sign. You'll probably get ticketed. I'm being totally nice about it, just trying to help out a fellow human. This guy stops dead in his tracks, turns around, and his face is already red with anger. He looks at me like I just insulted his mother and goes, why is it any of your business? I'm thinking, okay, maybe he didn't hear me right. So I start to explain. I was just trying to help because I'm leaving anyway, and you could have my spot right over. Before I can even finish, he cuts me off and yells, why is it any of your business? But louder this time. And there's kids everywhere, including my son who's standing right next to me holding his balloon animal. That's when I got pissed. Look, I said, I was just trying to help you out. I'm leaving anyway, so you could take my legal parking spot instead. He stops for a second and his whole attitude changes. Oh, he goes, okay, thanks. But I'm already feeling petty at this point. This guy just swore at me in front of my kid for trying to do him a favor. So I look at him and go, actually, you know what? Maybe I changed my mind. I think I'll just sit here for a while. His face goes red again. Do whatever you want, he says, and storms back to his truck. So that's exactly what I do. I get Jake buckled in, hand him my phone with some games on it, and we just sit there. Me and this guy are now having a full staring contest through our windshields. I'm smiling and waving at him. He's gripping his steering wheel, looking like he wants to murder me. After about 5 minutes of this standoff, he finally cracks. He throws his hands up, starts his engine, and pulls out of the driveway spot. I can see him doing this big loop around the block, probably thinking he'll just cruise back and grab my spot as soon as I leave. But here's where it gets good. Right as he's coming back around the corner, I see this other car coming from the opposite direction. Perfect timing. I pull out of my spot, super slow, making sure the other driver sees it's available. They pull right in just as the angry guy gets there. I rolled down my window, gave him the biggest wave, and drove away. Jake asked why I was smiling so much the whole drive home,